The final week of December 2024 brought a series of unsettling aviation incidents, casting a shadow over the holiday season and raising concerns about the safety of air travel. Within a span of just 7 days, 4 separate events unfolded, 3 of them on a single day, December 29th. These incidents, ranging from a fatal crash to near misses, involved different airlines, aircraft types, and geographical locations. The close timing of these events, coupled with the severity of the Jeju air crash, sent shockwaves through the aviation industry and beyond, prompting urgent investigations and fueling public anxiety. The incidents varied in their nature and outcomes. The most tragic event was the crash of Jeju Air Flight 2216 in South Korea, resulting in a significant loss of life. In contrast, the KLM incident in Norway and the Air Canada incident in Canada, both occurring on the same day, involved near misses with no reported injuries. Adding to the complexity of this period was the reported downing of an Azerbaijan Airlines flight, an event attributed to geopolitical conflict rather than technical or operational failures. The occurrence of multiple aviation incidents within such a short time frame is statistically unusual. While air travel remains one of the safest modes of transportation, these events served as a stark reminder of the inherent risks associated with flight. The incidents also highlighted the interconnectedness of the global aviation system, where events in one part of the world can quickly reverberate across the industry, impacting public perception and prompting scrutiny of safety protocols and regulations. As investigators began piecing together the events of that turbulent week, the world watched with bated breath, eager for answers and reassurance. The incident served as a sobering reminder of the importance of continuous improvement in aviation safety, the need for transparent investigations, and the critical role of international cooperation in addressing shared challenges in air travel. The most devastating aviation incident of the week occurred on December 29, 2024, when Jeju Air Flight 2216, a Boeing 737-800 en route from Seoul, South Korea to Jeju International Airport, crashed while attempting to land. The aircraft, carrying 181 souls, including 175 passengers and 6 crew members, plummeted to the ground near Muan International Airport, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The crash sent shockwaves through South Korea and the global aviation community. The scale of the tragedy was immense, with 179 fatalities reported, making it one of the deadliest aviation accidents in recent history. The loss of so many lives, many of them families traveling for the holidays, cast a pall over the nation and triggered an outpouring of grief and condolences from around the world. Details surrounding the crash emerged slowly as investigators began piecing together the events leading to the disaster. According to preliminary reports, the aircraft encountered difficulties during its descent and attempted a go-around maneuver before crashing. Witnesses reported seeing the plane struggle to maintain altitude and hearing unusual noises coming from the engines. Some accounts mentioned a possible bird strike during the approach, but this information remained unconfirmed. The crash site, a scene of utter devastation, was cordoned off as rescue workers and investigators combed through the wreckage, searching for survivors and evidence that could shed light on the cause of the crash. The recovery efforts, hampered by the extent of the damage and the emotional toll on those involved, continued for days, with hopes of finding survivors dwindling with each passing hour. The Jeju air crash served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences that can occur when things go wrong in the skies. While the Jeju air crash dominated headlines, 2 other incidents on December 29, 2024, involving KLM and Air Canada flights, added to the sense of unease surrounding air travel that week. Although these incidents did not result in any injuries, they served as stark reminders of the inherent risks associated with aviation and the importance of robust safety protocols. The KLM incident occurred at Oslo Airport in Norway, where a Boeing 737-800, the same model involved in the Jeju air crash, veered off the runway during landing. Fortunately, all passengers and crew members evacuated the aircraft safely, with no reported injuries. Initial reports suggested that strong winds and icy conditions may have contributed to the incident, but a thorough investigation was launched to determine the exact cause. The Air Canada incident unfolded at Toronto Pearson International Airport in Canada, where a de Havilland Dash 8, a much smaller turboprop aircraft, experienced a landing gear issue and a subsequent wingtip fire upon touchdown. Despite the dramatic nature of the incident, all passengers and crew were evacuated promptly and without injury. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada initiated an investigation to determine the cause of the landing gear malfunction and the subsequent fire. These near misses, occurring on the same day as the tragic Jeju air crash, underscored the unpredictable nature of aviation and the importance of well-trained crews, robust safety procedures, and a culture of safety within the aviation industry. While the incidents involved different aircraft types and airlines, their close proximity in time raised questions about potential systemic factors that might have contributed to the heightened risk during that particular period. The involvement of the Boeing 737-800 in both the Jeju air crash and the KLM runway excursion immediately brought the aircraft type under intense scrutiny. The 737-800, a workhorse of the aviation industry, has a generally good safety record, but has been involved in a number of high-profile incidents in recent years. The close proximity of these two incidents, involving the same model, inevitably raised questions about the aircraft's role in the events. It is important to note that the 737-800 should not be confused with the 737 MAX, a newer variant that was grounded worldwide between 2019 and 2020 following two fatal crashes. The 737-800, while part of the same aircraft family, predates the MAX and does not share the same design features that contributed to those accidents. However, the 737-800 has been involved in other incidents, including a Turkish Airlines crash in Amsterdam in 2009, and an Air India Express crash in Mangalore, India, in 2010. The recurrence of the 737-800 in aviation incidents, while statistically small compared to the vast number of flights the aircraft type undertakes safely every day, has led to calls for increased scrutiny of the model. Some aviation experts have pointed to potential issues with the aircraft's design, particularly its susceptibility to tail strikes during takeoff and landing. Others have highlighted the importance of pilot training and maintenance practices in ensuring the safe operation of the aircraft. It is crucial to emphasize that attributing blame to any one factor in the Jeju air crash or the KLM incident would be premature and irresponsible. Aviation accidents are complex events, often resulting from a confluence of factors rather than a single cause. Thorough investigations are essential to determine the role of the aircraft, the pilots, the environment, and other contributing factors in these incidents. In the immediate aftermath of the aviation incidents that shook the final week of December 2024, investigations were launched to determine the causes and contributing factors that led to the tragic loss of life in South Korea and the near misses in Norway and Canada. While these investigations are complex and time-consuming, preliminary findings began to emerge, offering glimpses into the events that unfolded. In the case of the Jeju air crash, the recovery of the aircraft's flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, despite the extensive damage to the former, provided crucial evidence for investigators. The flight data recorder, commonly known as the black box, captures a wealth of information about the aircraft's performance, including its altitude, speed, heading, and engine parameters. The cockpit voice recorder captures conversations between the pilots, communications with air traffic control, and other sounds from the cockpit, providing valuable insights into the crew's actions and decision-making. Preliminary analysis of the flight data recorder from the Jeju air flight revealed that the aircraft had encountered difficulties maintaining altitude during its descent, and had initiated a go-around maneuver shortly before the crash. The cockpit voice recorder captured conversations between the pilots, indicating their struggle to control the aircraft, and their concern about a potential bird strike during the approach. However, investigators cautioned that it was too early to definitively determine the cause of the crash, and that a thorough analysis of all available evidence was necessary. The investigations into the KLM and Air Canada incidents also progressed, with preliminary findings suggesting that environmental factors may have played a significant role. In the KLM incident, strong winds and icy conditions at Oslo Airport were identified as potential contributing factors to the aircraft's runway excursion. Similarly, in the Air Canada incident, investigators were examining the role of potential mechanical issues with the landing gear and the subsequent wingtip fire.